What is going on, everybody? We're back on a Hunter x Hunter episode 90, uh, 97, 96? 96. Damn, I wish I would have recorded the opening. They showed us a Phantom Troop, and my jaw was dropped when they showed it. I know a couple of you sent me the openings to react to, and the openings that were just like recap or no openings at all. But I have to clear my inboxes so much because I just get like spammed with so much that like if I don't clear it and keep things clear, I won't be able to see new people that send me messages. So apologize we weren't able to show that quick reaction. They were just talking about kind of what I brought up in the live stream, like are the other commanders and squadron leaders, are they just out there killing on free will? Is anybody like reeling their asses in? Like, are they just going to let this spread from continent to continent? And they kind of brought that up there, how they've just been contained on this one continent. None of the police forces or anybody has been able to stop or slow them down. They're able to speak and kind of do all these things. So that's kind of all we had in the opening. I'm sure if you've seen it, you know what I'm talking about. And then they showed the Phantom Troop. It didn't look like all of them. I did think I saw Kiloa's sister. I think I saw 5. And then the opening like title screen right here is the Phantom Troop music. So I'm pretty hype. Up to this point, the York New City arc has been my favorite arc in the entire story so far. I don't know how this arc is going to end, so again, I can't judge it to this arc until this arc completely finishes to compare to that one. But of like everything we've had, that's been my favorite so far. So seeing them brought back into the story is going to be good. I was wondering, like, I've been asking this kind of like for a while, like, I don't know how Kurapika's story ends or what ends up happening with the Phantom Troop, but I think a lot of you have told me this Chimera Ant arc ends in like the 130s ish. So if that's true or not, or if it's around that area, like the 120s, the 130s, how you kind of like all of a sudden shoot back to the Phantom Troop with only 10 episodes remaining and wrap up the story seemed like a lot to me. So I was trying to figure out how can we bring them into the story. So I don't know if they're hired to maybe take out some of these squadron leaders. Are they going to enter the NGL with the rest of us fighting side by side? I have no idea, but it's dope to see them brought back into the story. Just want to go over some of the comments real quick on my last video. A lot of you were in the stream, so we kind of got a lot of the questions answered, but a lot of you kind of left comments. A couple of you were kind of explaining, and I had people explain this in the stream, but if you weren't able to make it, I was asking, so did Gon just like hit a Dragon Ball emotion power boost? But a lot of you told me he didn't, he just tapped into his emotions to maximize his current power. He didn't like ascend or unlock a new level of power. So the way I look at it is if he has a max meter or gas tank of 50, and like through normal training, normal kind of fighting, he was only able to maybe tap to 40% of the 50 or 40 out of 50. I feel like the emotion of Kite and everything that happened kind of took off that limiter, and now he can hit 50 out of 50 of his meter as far as like his output capacity. That's how I view it, and that's kind of how you guys have explained it to me. It's not like he had a max power output of 50 and the emotions all of a sudden he's got a max power output of 100. I just feel like he maximized his output. A lot of you told me that Moral would have been able to survive and or take the punch had he had used Ko or Ken or whatever you want to kind of describe it as. So that was good to see. But that more likely than not, a Royal Guard wouldn't even have to use Ko to deal with Gon's punch. That it wouldn't be a threat. And that was good to see. That was my question. I was like, can now all of a sudden he can just walk up to Pito or Poof or whoever and hit him with this punch and it's going to do damage or be a fatal blow? A lot of you told me it's still, they would be able to dust it off. Maybe not even having to use Ko because their aura and their bodies are just that strong. And another big question I had, how does he stack to Uvo at this point? I think 100% of you told me he is not even in the same discussion as what Uvo was. I'm sure he'll be there. I mean, he's going to be a master level enhancer, probably the greatest we've ever seen by the end of the story. But currently, right now, he is still not even in the ballpark of the same discussion, which is good, in my opinion. Did we have anything else? We talked about the Nen-infused cameras. Like, how were the cameras able to pick up Hisoka's bungee gum stuff? But it's up for debate. Was there anything else? Yeah, Gon would be no match for Uvo again. Yes, his Jajunkin is pretty same, but like Uvo, his Big Bang impact, he can just spit that out like at will. He doesn't have to charge it up, nothing. So that's another thing. Like to me, like Uvo's been one of the strongest character we've still seen to this point. As far as enhancers go, I think he's been the strongest enhancer we've seen. Um, I don't know if we're putting Palm in that as well, or if she's a conjurer or both. I don't know what to put Bisky at either. Like she conjures her little kind of cookie shit, but then she also enhances into her Hulk form at the same time. I'm confused on Bisky, really, to tell you the truth. And I think that ends up being it. And then just a quick heads up, the next live reaction we'll do on Twitch is not until episode 111, 112, I think. So we're talking late October, like around Halloween time. Yeah, so the next episodes we have are 111, 112, 116, 125, 126, 130, 131, and 135. So it's going to be a while till we have the Twitch reactions, but we're going to be on YouTube. You guys will get this Wednesday, and then 97 will be up Friday. There just won't be any kind of live watch party this weekend. I think that's it. That recaps the last video. I'm excited because the Phantom Trooper have been my favorite group of characters so far. Illumi and some of the others for sure. I mean, not Illumi's not even in it, but the last time we saw him, he was helping out Hisoka. I just feel like the Phantom Trooper are just kind of easy to like. It's the same with kind of like Naruto and the Akatsuki members or any kind of other manga or anime that have like, the classic like villain group. Their abilities and the mystery around them is very like likable, I feel like, to viewers. So we'll see how it goes. We're 3 minutes in, exactly 3 minutes in. Pressing play on the episode. This might pop up an ad, so just bear with me. 3 minutes in, pressing play right now. Oh, no ad. We're good to go. We're going. Full go, full go. Now, did Crollo ever get his shit taken off? We haven't. Oh my god. Why are they being brought in is the question, though. Are they being hired? Can the Phantom Troop be for hire? Do they solve issues? They should be able to dot up all the squadron leaders. IMO. Damn, I missed them. I don't think we even know what his abilities are yet. So this is their home, where they're originally from, correct? Maybe that's why they're being brought back into the story? Did one... Yeah, it is. Okay. Just a shithole. I love his outfit, by the way. So did somebody call them back because they've got an aunt there fucking shit up, or... 300 dead. Wow. So they... Oh no, we just buffered. My bad. So do they still have loyalty to protect their original, or what? This was an ordinary human. What the fuck happened to him? Some are alive and working with the ants? How's that possible? I don't think there's any bringing them back. I forget what the name of their original like town is, and what makes their bond so strong because they grew up in this hellhole. Where is it in relation to the NGL and all that? Are they on one of those bordering countries on that island, or what? I don't know. Maybe they are. It would make no sense. So they do have some kind of loyalty to their original country. Why is that? I wonder why that is. Queen's dead? Oh, this is fucking that Arachnid bitch. Because all of them are calling themselves kings and queens these days. About to say, how the hell is she alive? But Hmm. She's poisoning them. That's why they're freaking out. But she's able to turn them into things? Maybe that's her ability. But what does that fall under? It'd be different if she had just poison. She's straight up changing people. I feel like when it's too complicated to explain, just chalk them up as a specialist. Sexy stinger of rebirth. With my queen shot, I shall. So she's straight up able to turn humans into whatever they are. How strong are they? Or I don't know. Yo, I hope they fuck shit up. We haven't seen them in a while. We haven't seen some of their abilities either. I would love to see them just clean this up. I want to see how strong they are compared to squadron leaders. I would hope at least the same level. This is dope. This is one of the better episodes we've had in a while, and nothing's happened. Oh, she still hasn't. She still hasn't shown them her full abilities yet. What was her name again? It was similar to Kilua's name. I forget. Oh, kill this bitch boy. What's the point of the bikini? That shit might as well not even be there. Yeah, but I'm sure you guys are answering those questions for me. Is their original hometown, city, continent, country on that big island that the NGL and everything else is on? Or have they spread off that continent? Some of them swam away, but I don't know. You guys will let me know. We've never seen his abilities. Anything. Yo, punch this dude's head off. He took off the straps, the wraps. What is he? Oh, fuck me. Did he do? Is it has to do with sound? Or what the fuck is going on? Is that why he keeps himself covered up? Yo, even the sound that I'm hearing in the image is like fucking with my equilibrium. Like, I can't even see straight right now. A small tribe that. You know it's serious if they've got to give him his own fucking cutscene. They bitten? Needles are used to puncture holes in their body. Depending on the hole's size and shape, in the movements, they can produce sound. Does he have one going through his torso? So what do they do besides produce a sound? Okay, good to... What the fuck? Battle candidate. So the holes serve no purpose as far as battle goes. What the fuck's the point of the boxing gloves? Holy shit. Okay. I'm sure you guys are in the comments right now explaining to me his abilities, so hit me with it. Does he just put the gloves on because they're thick enough to reduce sound, or like could it be any pair of gloves? Yeah. So he said if he's not able to pierce somebody with the needle, his abilities are pretty much shot. But I feel like all of them have a base like hand-to-hand combat, or at least should. Especially if you've got having Uvo in the group for so long. If y'all didn't have some kind of hand-to-hand training, oh shit, got his ass. Um. He's manipulating the big one. It's not real. Hmm. Oh, or it's being manipulated by somebody else. I wonder how that would work. Like when you've got a manipulator on a manipulator on a manipulator, like if somebody has it first, or can I be strong enough to just take it? Guess there's no choice. Okay, what do you got for me? Of course they cut. I feel like they're building all these like other guys up to have them get dotted. $15. Is he fucking cranking it up? Jack in the box? The more he winds it up, the stronger it gets, or what? We still don't even know. We don't know. I don't know why I'm saying we don't know his abilities. Oh, fuck me. He just put Karmic Loop. Every time I wind my arm, my punch gets stronger. Is that an enhancer ability? Oof. How strong can it get? Like, how strong? Is there a limit? Because you know what I'm going to say. If he winded it up enough, could he take out a Royal Guard or the King? Probably not. But do we know? Hmm. I mean, this has been one of the best episodes we've had in this whole Ant arc saga, just off of them. He doesn't seem too worried. None of them seem too worried. Episode just stuttered again. Oh god, it's actually buffering. Oh, there it goes. He can. Oh, fuck me. Autopilot on. We're getting to see all their specials abilities right here. Holy fuck. It's dope getting to see all their abilities, but I'm feeling so cheated out of it that we're just getting like one after another after another after another, you know? My man looks like Gohan, but does have a little drawback. What's on your back? What's on your back? Yeah, where was she hiding that shit? What is that shit? They all have it on them. Is that something they did, or is that put on by the ants? I don't know. Please take her head off one clean go. That's the Zolduk chick. What the hell is this paper mache shit she's got going on? She's able to track? It's like some kind of homing device? Do they know that they have that on them? Or is she doing this in secret? Oh, fuck. That's what's her name. Did it do anything? But to say. That's gotta be some strong ass paper. Still didn't do anything. Is it poisoned? Is she a manipulator too? My fan is made of paper. What's the chick's name from Naruto that does the paper? It starts with a K. They're making the paper sound pretty badass. During dance. He lost an arm. Here goes the other arm. The fuck did he get that umbrella from? He just carries that with him? My man's quick with it. I hope he dots her ass up. Yeah. He's getting fucked up with that sound. I'm trying to think how it's humanly possible to stay alive with a gaping hole in your torso, but like the arms, I was like, okay, I'm with you. My man's missing a stomach. So there is a purpose for the holes. I thought they were just for show. He is fucking this man up with the genjutsu right now. Jesus. Gonna bring the whole fluffing place down. That'll do it. Oh, he did. Wow. To death. I like his look. I thought I liked him like all mummied up. I think I like him walking around like that better. The Phantom Troop fight to save their home. Meteor City from the Chimera Ants. That it? That went by so fast. I would Google Meteor City and try to see where it is in relation, but we're gonna get spoiled with something. And a lot of you told me not to Google the the map layout anymore. Um, that felt like that episode was 2 minutes long. That's probably the most engaged I've been in a while. I don't know if that's the best episode of the Chimera Ant arc. Um, trying to think what's up there with it. Seeing Kite lose his arm and then finding out that he's dead is probably the top of the top right now. But that episode right there is gotta be number 2, in my opinion. Is that blasphemous to say? We should add a live reaction to that one, and I know a couple of you told me to do 96. But I'm just trying to think off the top of my head. Let me scroll through here some of the past episodes we've done. And like none of the episodes have been bad. Like last episode, like getting to see kind of what happened to Kite and the explanation, it was a good episode, and getting to see Gon actually kind of, he said the words "I was going to kill you" when he was like revving up that punch. Like we've never seen him like that. That was a good episode. Episode 94, seeing Killua finally break free of Illumi's kind of control. It was a good episode. 93, finding out the king's abilities. That was a pretty good episode. 93 was pretty good. 92, seeing Netero kind of get serious, put on his lucky t-shirt. That was good. 91 was the king being born, but I think that was a better episode. What else do we have? 90, seeing Shoots kind of not seeing his abilities, but seeing it. 89, Knuckle and Gon going back and forth. 88. Yeah, I mean, so episode 85, 84 and 85 are probably one of the 2 better episodes of the entire arc. I think 85 just for like what it held, as far as like Kite is dead. Even though he's still kind of like on screen. But imagine like if Gon and Killua and the others just showed up. I don't know what makes it worse, like knowing Kite's alive, but not how they left him, or if they just would have walked in and seen that man Kite's head like hanging from a tree or something like that. I feel like maybe they still think Kite can be brought back, even though he was probably my second or third favorite character up to this point. I kind of hope that he doesn't, just for the emotional impact more. But if he could be some kind of like reanimated jutsu taken out of that and be placed back to life, I don't know. There's still we don't know anything about her abilities. We just got it from what Knuckle and Shoot and Moral and Nove were able to gather. Like if you attack him, he'll attack back. If you touch him, like the secondary thing takes over. But to say all that, I think 85 has probably been the best episode of the whole arc. 96 is my second favorite for sure. That would have been a dope one to do a live reaction to, and I think it's probably my favorite because, or my second favorite because, the Phantom Troop in the York New City arc has been my favorite up to this point. The only thing that kind of sucked, or maybe it didn't suck, maybe they still have other abilities, it's just that like it's always been a mystery kind of with Hunter x Hunter. Nen is like so deep and so specific in the things you can do. Like you see people do things, but like it's always a build up to like the explanation of their power. And like, oh, that's what they were doing that whole time. That to get their abilities kind of rattled off, like at one, boom, 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 he does this, this is. We didn't even know if the mummy, what he looked like after there, behind the robes. Did the robes actually ever come off? What was the purpose of the boxing gloves? We just got it all in 2 minutes. We got Shalnock's abilities all in 30 seconds. We got Sphinx abilities just spitted, rattled, rattled, rattled. We got Killua's sister. This might be a mistake, but I gotta know her name. I gotta Google her name. Hopefully I don't get spoiled with anything. I feel like if I put in Killua's sister, it's gonna be like Killua's sister's death or Killua's sister. What's her name? Kaluto. Okay, boom. Didn't get spoiled or anything. Kaluto. We got like, we didn't get word for word what her ability was, but I mean, hers was dope. I didn't even grasp hers as well. And that's the only thing I didn't like about the episode. I mean, the episode was great. Getting to see all their abilities was great. It's just like with Hunter x Hunter, one of the cool things is like when you see the ability, you don't quite understand it, but you see what it does. It would have been like if the Royal Guards just were born out, then all of a sudden we just learn their abilities. This is what they do. This is the detail of their abilities. The next one's born. This is what he does. This is his abilities. You feel like you didn't get to like see it or like learn it for yourself, like as you're watching it, you know. So that was the only unfortunate part. Because even with like Moral and Nove, like we've seen their abilities, but we still don't like know the conditions, the restrictions, kind of what it is. That we have no idea what Netero does. And with the Royal Guards, like we don't know. We've seen it, but we don't know. And with the Phantom Troop, we never saw their kind of special ability in the York New City arc because it was kind of focused on. You know, we had Chrollo. What was her name? Pico, Pitu, Pico, Paku. It was very like heavily focused on her as well. And some of the others, like we saw Uvo and what he could do. We saw Shalnok like manipulating people, and Sphinx had this crazy speed. So I'm guessing Sphinx is an enhancer. The more he winds up his arm, the stronger the punch will be, which is, I feel like it's a natural question. If he winds it up enough, could he cleanly take a Royal Guard's head off? If he wound it up enough, could he kill the king? I'm going to say no. There's got to be a limit to it, because if it was that easy, they would have him do it. But I wonder, like, if he wound it up enough, could he, like, really, like, make a Royal Guard, like, feel that, like, that hurt type thing, like, stun them a little bit? Because I know they're on a different level, but I would feel like if the squad that just rolled in there got a chance to go 6v1 versus a Royal Guard, could they do it? You guys don't have to tell me, because maybe we do end up getting that, because now the Phantom Troop is entangled in this story. They are engaging against Chimera Ants. Do we get to see 1v1 of them versus a Royal Guard, a group of them versus a Royal Guard? Just knowing like the level of fighters they are, like I would take I feel like this is easy to say, I would take two of them paired over Gon and Killua. Like I like their chances better. I don't know what Moral and Nove have to offer, or Knuckle and Shoot, but I feel like the Phantom Troop would have as good a chance as anybody else, especially with how many of them there are and the way they work together and how long they've been working together for. So Shao had an ability that where he can manipulate himself. He says when he comes out of it, he doesn't know what happens, and he gets muscle soreness for a couple days. That's why he doesn't like to use it. I never thought about like manipulating yourself. And then like I don't know what the restriction or the condition is when he manipulates himself. How does it like, how long can it last? How does it know to turn itself off? Like, are those too deep of questions to ask? Maybe, maybe not. So we saw that. We didn't get a deep explanation on Kaluto's, and maybe we did, but honestly, there was so much like Dragon Ball in this episode, and what I mean by that is so much like explosion and lightnings and flash and boom, destruction, boom, abilities that like you're trying to look at that and read at the same time. It's a lot. It's a lot. I feel like this would be a good episode to watch in dubbed, and maybe I'll go back and do that tomorrow, because I'm watching this at 3 o'clock in the morning, Wednesday, the morning before you guys see this, because if I don't watch it now, it won't get up. So maybe I'll watch that later Thursday. So we saw that. I forget the girl's name with when she conjures the vacuum. We've seen her abilities before, or her ability. Who else did they walk in there with? Kaluto? Sphinx? Chao? Oh, Phaeton. We haven't seen his abilities. Like, we don't really know like what he's got to offer. We just got his name, so I have no idea what it is. The mummy that's got holes implanted in him in his chest cavity. He seems, I'm not going to say OP, but like so powerful. Like, is that too much to say? Like, the man seems like one of the stronger members. I thought they were hiding him because maybe he had an ability like the girl that makes the copies. Like, she can make identical copies and able to track her copies. Like, it's not an ability that you would think like, oh, if you had that in a fight, like look out. I mean, yeah, she could make fakes of things and copies of things and deceive and all that stuff, but when it comes time to throw hands, I don't think her ability is like of much use when it comes down to it. Like again, I've been saying this from the beginning. I think all the Phantom Troop members need to have at least a baseline of enhancer hand-to-hand skills. Not enhancers, but be baseline physical and aura strong enough to be able to, like, if it came to a point to throw hands, it'd be great. And I like to think that like maybe Uvo trained with them. I don't know why I like to think that, but I like to think him being a master level enhancer, like, had sparring matches with them to make sure they were strong enough if it came down to it. Because who's to say you always have the time to like bust out a rock paper scissors shoe or manipulate yourself if you didn't have like the time to do it? You've got to be able to like have some kind of hand-to-hand combat, some kind of taijutsu baseline level. So I like to think they can all do that. But like his abilities, if you had that in a fight, it's just so he's got like combat abilities, like a combat ability, and then he also has like the Jupiter sound wave on top of it, to where it looks like it could be so much sound, so much pressure that like you can literally explode from the inside. And honestly, the sound it was making in my headphones and the images, it was like fucking making my equilibrium. It felt like I was going like this. Like, that feeling like if you stand up too fast or you get off something and you're dizzy, you're standing still. Like, I know I'm sitting here still, but in my head, it felt like I was going like this. Like, it was messing with me that badly. So yeah, just, again, I could sit here and rant forever because we just got like a bomb drop of abilities. So you think to your head, like, what could that ability do? How strong is it? How does it match up against blank, blank, blank? Could it stand a chance against so-and-so? Like, how does it rank? Blah, blah, blah. And knowing like, and then you kick it back to like Hisoka. Hisoka just popped in my head. Some of you like told me back in the day, like when we had the York New City arc, Hisoka was like one of the top 3, top 5 strongest members. Now, did you mean strongest members as far as like Nen capacity and aura, or did you mean regardless the matchup, whether he's against Uvo, he's against Franklin, Phaeton, Nobu, it doesn't matter. Like, he's coming out like top 3, regardless of the ability versus ability. Because what I just saw on screen, I don't know how to rank them as far as strength goes. You could put Paku, like, I guess maybe as far as like fight ability, towards the bottom, and you could put the girl that does the copying at the bottom. I don't know where you would put like the Nen stitching ability in a fight. I don't know if we've seen her kind of like capture people with it, but how does she integrate that in a fight? Or maybe it's not integrated in a fight. Her Nen stitching is for what it is. Stitching is not for like combat things, but maybe it is, maybe it isn't. But like Phaeton, Franklin, Shao, Hisoka, Nobu, the guy with the hole, Sphinx, if they all went at it, I don't even know what to do at this point. But it's another thing, again, like, we've seen their abilities, but we don't know their peaks. Same with Hisoka. We've seen his abilities, but we don't know where that leads up to. And I feel like we might see that here, because if they're intertwined in this Chimera Ant story, they're going to hit a point where, like, they're not going to be strong enough. Maybe I would really like to think, because it's been the Phantom Troop, they've been built up since episode 1 or episode 2. I would like to think that, like Kite, even though they're not hunters, but they're on that like pro hunter level, to where like these squadron leaders and commanders, while they might be strong, the Phantom Troop's just like in another league compared to what they're able to do. You remember how the lion and the other kind of mosquito and the kitty cat chick just walked away from Kite because they knew like he was stronger, it's on another level, we're going to die if we do it. I would like to think the Phantom Troop is on that level compared to the squadron leaders. And I feel like with their abilities to work together, they could, I'm not going to say defeat a Royal Guard, because I don't want to be disrespectful and trigger people in the comments. But we don't know what the Royal Guards can do. And we don't know what 3 or 4 members of a Phantom Troop working together could do. So, and I saw some debates in my comment section on this video saying that, not this video, but the last video, that Chrollo could hang with a Royal Guard if given the opportunity. I saw a couple of you saying if Chrollo, again, we don't know. I've never even seen Chrollo, but I did see him take on 2 flipping assassins. Were they going at full power? I don't know. But I saw a lot of people say that if Chrollo wasn't immediately speed blitzed, like when the fight started, Pitou is like in this man's face, how she just like closed the gap on Kite and them like in an instant. If he had a way to dodge that or not get his ass speed blitzed, he would be able to, I'm not going to say defeat, but hold his own, have a chance of winning. I don't know if that's blasphemous to say. I'm just letting y'all know what was said. But yeah, this is one of those episodes that we could just sit here and talk for a while. This is going on 40 minutes. I think we've been talking for 20, so I don't want to talk too long. You guys feel free to leave it in the comments if we're going to get, because even though we did get their abilities explained, I don't know the restrictions on it. If there's any restrictions, what's the peak of it? What can it do? What can't it do? And that's my only downside with the episode is that, like, you could have given each one of them half an episode or an episode alone with their abilities. Because, you know, like Hisoka, we got an explanation on his, like, bungee gum and what it does and, like, the properties of, like, rubber and gum and blank, blank, blank. And we saw, like, Uvo got a whole episode dedicated to him. I mean, there's not much to explain on, like, an enhancer. Like, you know what you're getting, but I don't know if we're going to get more on their abilities, because maybe they're going to have fight to them. Maybe some of them end up dying, and we kind of get more explanation on their abilities kind of as they're going through it in their deaths. But I mean, they were spitting out abilities and explosions so fast that it was hard to keep up. So if you want to explain things in the comment section, feel free. But if it's going to spoil a fight or an encounter later on because you explain too much of an ability, then don't even worry about explaining it. Or if I'm going to find out more about it, then don't worry about it. But if this is kind of all we get, and they end up dying, or maybe they don't encounter any more ants, or they're not like deep into the Chimera Ant story, like we shift back to the Gon Killua, Moronov, Knuckle and Shoot, then feel free to like elaborate on their abilities and what it is and where they kind of fall under. I'm gonna say Sphinx is an enhancer. What Phaeton, we haven't even seen Phaeton. Like we've seen him like have the death grip that Killua has had and like cut people's heads off. But what he's going to fall under, I don't know. We know that Xiao's a manipulator. What is her name? That conjures the vacuum cleaner. We know she's a conjurer. I don't know what Kaluto does with those papers. Is she manipulating the paper to be stronger? Is she transmuting it? Is she changing the property? But no, she's not, because the paper is not her aura that she's changing into paper. She's manipulating the paper. So maybe she's a manipulator. This is the thing with, like, this was kind of like, you guys asked me this, how I felt about the power scale, not the power scaling, but the power system. It's so deep that sometimes I feel like it's too deep to grasp in one go, given the 6 different, like, things it can fall under. And I feel like when it's too hard to understand or explain, just dump it into specialty and like leave it there, because that'd be the best explanation. Because I brought this up before, like the Naruto, like when you saw Naruto and you saw water or a wind or a fire, or you saw like an eye ability or a Kekkei Genkai or like whatever you want to follow, like you knew kind of what it was. Maybe you didn't know the extent of what it can do, but you knew, like when you saw a water attack, oh, that's a water attack. When you saw something fire, when you saw fireball jutsu, you knew, like, okay, that's a fire jutsu. You knew, you know, they had an affinity for water or electricity, or some had multiple. You didn't need any deeper explanation. So with this, I feel like even when you see it, there could be a limit, a restriction. What can it do? What is the drawback? Like, it goes so deep that, and a lot of you guys have said, like, you felt the same way the first time you watched it. You say it's easy to understand and get now because you've watched Hunter x Hunter 5, 6, 7, 8 times. Every time you like a reactor and you see them watch it, you watch through it again. So maybe like when that, yeah, it'd be easy to to follow and explain. But that's kind of like my only kind of like, I'm not gonna say like argument or dislike, but like the power system is so deep and advanced that it's hard. Like when you watch something for the first time, you got to be like, okay, what does it fall under? But does it fall under that? Is there restriction on it? But what does that really mean? But like, and then it's hard to like tell. And it's easy to just sit there and watch it, but I don't want to sit there and just watch explosions and be like, yep, yep, that's an ability, and like keep it moving on. Like you want to understand why and how that's happening. So yeah, we're just gonna leave it there. We're 45 minutes in. Hopefully this audio goes good. I apologize for it skipping a couple times, but this will go up Wednesday at noon, like it always does. So you guys should be seeing this later today, 9 hours from now. Oh man, I gotta get some sleep. And then we will have Code Geass episode 8 or 9 on the channel tomorrow on Thursday. Patreon, you guys should be seeing episode 21. And then episode 97 of Hunter x Hunter will be up Friday. And then we don't have any watch party this weekend or anything, so I'll catch you guys again on Monday. But we'll talk about that with Friday's episode. But yeah, this is probably my second favorite episode of the entire Chimera Ant storyline. You guys let me know, is that too bold to say? Is that accurate? Was it your favorite? Was it one of your least? Let me know. Yeah, like, share, favorite, subscribe, and as always,